Before we talk about changes in spelling for present tense, let's talk a little bit about subject-verb agreement, otherwise known as SVA. Okay, so first, let's look at some pronouns. In Malay, we call this kata ganti nama. So we have I, you, we, they, and then you have he, she, it. Subject-verb agreement means that your subject must agree with your verb. So if you have a singular subject, for example, he, she, or it, okay, singular subject meaning only one person, seorang sahaja, okay, your verb, you have S. Okay, so for example, he, she, it works. If you have a plural subject, for example, we or they, that means for your verb, there is no S. So for example, we and they work. What about you and I? Okay, so here are some simple rules to remember. You and I are special. Okay, you remember the sentence, you and I are special. Why are they special? Even though they are singular, okay, your verb does not have an S. Alright, so as you can see in this table here, I, you, we, they, verb, no S. He, she, it, verb with S. Another rule that makes it easier for you to remember is you look at the spelling for plural and singular. Okay, so for plural, there is no S, right? So for your verb, you do not have an S. What about the word singular? You look at the word singular, starts with S, right? So for your verb, you have S. Okay, so to repeat, singular subject, that means you have S in your verb. So he, she, it works with an S. Plural subject, no S. So for your verb, there is no S as well. So I, you, we, they work. But you and I, even though they are singular, okay, you and I are special. So for you and I, the verb does not have S. So for most verbs, all you need to do is add an S to the base form, or yung kata dasar in Malay, to make the present tense for singular subject he, she, and it. So for example, for come, you just add an S and it becomes comes. Travel becomes travels, and eat becomes eats. However, for some verbs, you need to add ES instead of just S. How do you know when to add ES? Alright, let's start with the first situation. When your verb ends with CH, SS, SH, X, or ZZ, we add ES. So for example, we have these words, okay, which I'm going to call root verb. Okay, kata kerja dasar. So let's say you have the verb watch. So you add ES and it becomes watches. So he, she, it watches. Miss, misses. Wash, washes. Mix, mixes. Buzz, buzzes. Another situation is when you need to add IES. So when do you add IES? When your verb ends in a consonant plus Y, we change Y to I and add ES. So for example, we have the root verbs study, okay? So D is a consonant and then it ends with Y. So you change Y to I and add ES, so you get studies, STUDIES. Next, for the word hurry, you do the same thing. You get hurries. Reply, you get replies. But what if your verb just ends with Y? Then you add S. So for example, you see the word pay ends with Y. You add an S, it becomes pays. Enjoy becomes enjoys. Lastly, you have the irregular verbs have, go, do, and be. Okay, so the present tense of these irregular verbs have is has, go is goes, do is does, be is.